Episode 1 of the Ballin in Burgundy podcast. We have made it to episode 100. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, and our Burgundy Ballers, welcome back to another episode of the Ballin in Burgundy podcast. Yeah. Myself and Chris have capacity. Justin's working. Andrew's got a college stuff. But Chris, what is going on? We've made it to episode 100, my guy.
Episode 100.
Episode 100. Here.
We knew sooner or later it would come.
It has come. Pause. But it is here now.
Yeah.
It is here now, guys. Dude, it's great. And before we can get to anything, like, subscribe, all that nonsense, I just want to thank every viewer, every subscriber, every sponsor, every supporter of here at BIB. I texted our sponsors. I said, thank you for everything. I want to tell the people, the viewers, anyone who watches this episode and shares this episode, thank you. We had a blast doing the giveaway. We've had a blast doing this almost every single week, and especially every single month since me and Justin started this back in November of 22. So everybody, I just want to say thank you. We are on the road to 500 subscribers, and we're going to keep on this thing rolling through the season. But guys, we got a little bit to talk about. It's been a little bit since you boys have gotten on the YouTube in a little bit, right? So we got a little bit to talk about. We got some Dyami Brown to talk about. We got a little preseason to talk about. Why we can't have a professional kicker on our roster is mind boggles me.
Let me just say this first. Who was the guy was it Mitchell Tinsley that dropped the game?
I think so.
Game time. Bro, we were bragging about how this guy should be on the roster. Then he gets the chance to make a game time score.
Don't remind me.
And drops the ball. Yes, it's preseason, but dude, that is a heartbreaker.
Well, right? we wouldn't been in that position if our kickers could kick balls, down the uprights.
That is true. Like, it would have been 13-12 at that point had they made two other field goals.
And all we needed was a field goal. And guys, we're talking about this the Jets preseason game, week 2, when we went up to MetLife Stadium, and
my boy.
Oh no, thank you. It was Miami. It's been a long weekend. We went down to the 305. Went down to not Diddy's house. We went down to Miami. Went down to Hard Rock Stadium. No Tua, no Tyreek, no Jalen Waddle, no Jalen Ramsey.
I know Tyreek did not play, but I think Tua did. But he played for I think maybe a drive or two, but that was it.
Maybe a drive. And Jaden looked good. His drives looked good. I think maybe a field goal out of the 3 drives he had. Jeff Driscoll making a case for quarterback 2.
For possible.
No apparent reason, with Mariota hurt and Sam Hartman hurt. And then we signed Trace McSorley time, so we've got a plethora of QBs on the roster. 3 white people on their roster at QB. But Michael Wiley didn't look so high. Tinsley didn't look so high. Dyami decided to come up and show up again. Let's get into him. Our good friend Rio Robinson. Shout out to Rio. You guys can go watch his latest episode about right up here. He says that Dyami's gonna have a breakout season under Cliff Kingsbury and Dan Quinn. I can see this now because preseason and training camp, he has had nothing but touches, and looks and receptions. And we're also saying Jahan might get traded.
It wouldn't surprise me if Dyami gets wide receiver too. Jahan has not done anything since his rookie year.
I mean, I can't say it's all his fault. He's in the same boat as Terry of just a rotation of QBs. But the fact that, dude, think about this. This time 3 months ago, we were saying Dyami Brown for a 7th round pick. Dyami Brown gets cut. Dyami Brown's trade bait for Brandon Ayuk. And now we're saying he's going to be wide receiver 2.
That's crazy. Well, it's not even that. It's you say Dyami Brown has been in the same boat as Terry with all these quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Terry has still managed to get 1,000 yards.
He has.
He has. Yes. Jahan came in a couple years later after Terry.
Yep.
But even in Terry's rookie year, he was almost able to get 1,000 yards. 2020 with all the quarterbacks he had, 1,000. 21 with Taylor Heineke, 1,000 yards.
Yep.
The quarterbacks he had in 22, 1,000 yards.
Yep.
And yes, he barely got 1,000 yards in 23 with Sam Howell. But guess what? He still got 1,000.
Still got 1,000.
Not only that, Terry has only missed 2 to 3 games in his whole career.
Something like that.
Jahan
missed 5 in 2022.
Yeah, he had a quad injury.
Something like that. I mean, he didn't miss any of this past season, but he had 49 receptions for 518 and 4 touchdowns. But the year before that, in 12 games, 35 receptions for 523. So he only went down 6 yards with, or from 2022, he went up 5 games, 14 receptions, and about 6 yards, and went down in touchdowns.
It's not even that. It's that he played the whole season too.
He did.
He should have been able to at least get 600 yards.
I mean, we were also throwing at Logan Thomas, or Sam was getting picked or sacked.
Sam rather use Logan Thomas and Curtis Samuel.
I mean, we are using Olmi Zacchaeus and Luke McCaffrey and Zach Ertz and Ben Sinnott and Dyami Brown right now, and we're saying Dyami Brown could still have a breakout season with all the weapons. I think he's listed as our third. What is Dyami Brown listed on our current depth chart? He is a third string wide receiver, or wide receiver 3.
But you know what really makes me upset though? Martavis Bryant had the chance to catch a ball the other day and completely dropped it, and it was just like, serious? Like, you're a veteran receiver. Because I look at Martavis Bryant because we brought him as a veteran receiver, right? So why not bring him in, put him as a receiver 3? I was saying that until I saw what I saw the other day.
Well, Martavis Bryant hasn't played football since 2019.
I mean, that is true, but wasn't he also in the UFL, XFL?
He might have been, but it's like saying, oh, Antonio Brown can go play ball.
I mean, that is true, but Antonio Brown ain't getting signed by another team.
I mean, Antonio Brown was on his way to the Hall of Fame before he gets, outed of Pittsburgh, and then there's a steep decline. But that's besides the point. We can talk about clowns around here. We're talking about Dyami Brown and Jahan Dotson, and Dotson is still the 2 right now. Dyami at the 3, Luke at the 4, and this is just because it's still training camp or preseason. William Zacchaeus at the 5, Jameson at the 6, Pringle, Brian Tinsley, Davion Davis, Bryson Tremaine, Kaz Allen, and Bryson Tremaine should make this roster over Jamison Crowder.
Over Crowder?
Unless we keep 7, over Jamison Crowder.
I don't see that.
Bryson Tremaine is 6'4". Now, unless we keep Crowder for special teams, who's at 5'9", but we also have Olmi Zacchaeus, who's essentially taking that veteran, shorter style receiver from Jamison Crowder. Because the first 4, Terry, Jahan, Dyami, Luke, are all staying on this squad regardless. I think that's a given. So there's 4. You have Olmi, Jameson, Tinsley, Tremaine, Cass to figure out. You have 5 receivers for 2 pieces. I think it should be Tremaine and Olmi, and you put, I guess, Tinsley on the practice squad and protect him, because you get 4 protections on practice squad. So I would make Tinsley one of your protected guys, but then Tinsley's not on the squad. And what have I been preaching for a year? Get him on the main roster.
I don't think Crowder is going to get cut or moved to the practice squad because he has a veteran. He's like the veteran, not leadership.
Just like a veteran guy.
Yeah, he's just a
Yeah,
veteran guy.
I agree.
No game. Not only that, he's still got somewhat speed, so he can still kind of, make moves in and out.
Hmm.
Um,
I
I
mean,
think
yeah.
it would be better if he, kind of kept him around, to be honest.
Like I don't disagree, but right now we have he be our punt returner in front of Jahan, and then no Iganagabi, our corner, is in front of Kazan for kick return. So it's not like we would lose a piece on special teams.
No.
Jahan, Noah, they've put Forbes out there. We'll get to him in a second because boy, oh boy, Chris, you might be onto something here. Um, and they put Tinsley out there. They put Tremaine out there. They put Davion Davis out there. Like I said, Iganagami and Forbes. I think they've put
I don't know.
Sandersall out there.
I don't know if they put in or keeping Tinsley.
Bro,
If Tinsley keeps dropping the ball like he does, and he might
but
be
he was also well protected though, like well covered though.
He was, and the ball was I don't think it was a little behind,
I don't
but
think it was.
still,
I think it was just a little in front was the problem.
yeah,
He could have put mitts on it, but it just got out of I think if I can find the video, I'll put it up.
it still hit his hands, and when that ball hits your hands, you
I,
have to.
I don't know if it did hit his hands. That's the thing.
It did because
Mm,
Trace McSorley throws the ball to him, and yeah, he kind of has to jump a little, but like the
mm-hmm,
ball, it hits him in the. It just went like right through to
mm-hmm.
where he caught it.
Yeah,
And you're like, yes, it's preseason, but dude, like I said, that's a heartbreaker right there.
it is. Speaking of heartbreakers, Emmanuel Forbes, your favorite commander right now, my guy. Number 13, the greatest corner to never play for the Commanders coming soon. Um, Outside of that one play against the Jets in week one, he's gotten cooked every week. Every single.
To go. St. Juice also got cooked too.
Oh yeah, St. Groupie, he's gotten cooked too, but not as bad as Forbes.
Nah.
Not as bad as Forbes. Um, I mean, do you think we could trade him for like a fifth? Somebody
I
might
just
need him.
I just release him. I wouldn't even trade him. I
I
just
would
release him.
I would get Val. Like send him to Carolina for a fifth. Or send him to fucking the Chargers for a fourth. Because they need pieces. They always need pieces. Um but like I mean like because me and Justin wanted to give him a chance and whatnot. And Chris, I think you're right. I think Forbes has got to go.
Yeah, he's gotta go. Like
He's acknowledged it himself. He's under a microscope.
he's pissing me off, bro.
But who? But just listen to this cornerback room, dude, and then tell me why we want to keep him around. Chigozie Newsom, number 23, at 6'1", he's a rookie. Tree Castro Fields, 25, 6'1", 3 years and second year here. Michael Davis, 29, 6'2", first year here in Washington, 8-year vet. No Iganagami, free agent. He's only 24, 5'11". Kublu Kelly, 23, 6 foot, second year league, first year here. James Pierre, 27, 6'2", 5 years in the league, first year here. Mikey Sandersall, who's a rookie, 5'10", 23, but he's the best, corner in this class. Juiced Nick Whiteside, who's been here before last year, and AJ Woods, a rookie at 5'9". Forbes is one of the tallest guys here at 6 foot,
But yeah, can't do anything.
but can't do anything. And we say we got to sign a corner, but who's left?
Xavier Howard.
Xavier Howard, Adoree
Which I mean at this
Jackson,
point,
Pat P, Keller Witherspoon. Like I would take a Keller Witherspoon, and that's really it. Like I don't. We touched on this with I think with Z. We don't want Eli Apple. We have Forbes for.
at this point, yes, even though Xavier Howard has stuff going on, I would bring him in, sign him, just so that way we have some help.
Okay.
Because man, I'm not about to see Arthur James Brown cook Emmanuel Forbes once again, or I'm about to see Chris Godwin cook Emmanuel Forbes come September 8th. Because if it does, I'm throwing something at the TV.
That's hilarious.
And I'm gonna call the team.
We brought in another defensive back in Kendall Brooks the other day.
I'm gonna call the team. Then call his parents. Tell them to get the out of here. Because I'm sick of their damn son being cooked by these wide receivers.
Yep.
It's pissing me off.
Do you want to hear his preseason stats so far?
Let's hear it.
In two games, 2 total tackles, so 1 solo, 1 assisted, 1 pass deflection, I think 2 touchdowns given up, and like 30 yards given up.
Get the out of here.
I think he has given up more yards this preseason than he had total tackles last season.
Please get this man off the damn team. I knew it from the minute we drafted him. This guy was not going to be good. Nobody wanted to listen to me.
I was trying. Yeah.
Nobody wanted to listen to me. Everybody was like, "Oh, give him a chance. Give him a chance." Hell no.
Yeah, you were right. Yeah. It's heartbreaking. Because here's the funny thing about this, right? We are close to cutting time. August 27th, next Tuesday. We have to cut the roster from 70 plus to 53. And we have to build our practice squad between the 28th and I think the 3rd. What would be the indictment on Ron Rivera if Emmanuel Forbes was placed on the practice squad?
Everybody would be going at Rivera's head. I mean, everybody already did.
Yeah, everyone already has. I mean, Dan touched on this on the roster going. He views it more as a 70-man roster. He said when he was on the drawbacks of minimal roster cuts after training camp. No, I don't. I don't find the drawback in it because I do think there's value in finding that last piece. And so maybe the old days, it was a 4th preseason game. Very true. I think going from 4 games to 3 was a little bit of a downfall because it gives you limited time. Would you agree with that?
From going from 4 preseason games
to 3. About like finding the right guy and like finding the best place for him.
Yeah, to a degree, yeah, I agree with him because you now teams are already determining who their starting quarterback is going to be by the end of week 2 in the preseason.
And as we say that, as we said that earlier today, Bo Nix was named the starter.
Yeah, exactly. And
yeah,
you can't, because this is where, let's say there was a 4th preseason game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your 3rd game is where you play most of your guys for a couple of quarters, maybe the first half, a little bit of the second half.
Yep.
Because that's where you determine who is going to be here
and who's not.
And who is going to be your starters week 1.
Yep. He goes on to say, now is the 3rd, where there's more to see, and I would say from the roster spot from the 40s through 53. And when we get towards the end of the week, we'll talk about New England into next week, and you'll talk us And you'll hear us talk about a 70-man roster now that practice squads have expanded and you have veterans and you have call-ups. So we're now thinking in even bigger picture than the 53. Trying to find the downside to it because a number of people that you have here are going to be someone's that you're going to want to continue to working forward with on the roster or the practice squad. So no downside for me in that space. I think it's actually a good mindset saying you have a 70-man roster.
I think it is too. Just at the same time, you're gonna have to obviously get down to 53, and that's
Mm-hmm.
where it sucks because you feel like, okay, well, this player has this player has
Yeah.
that, but then it's like, you know what? At the same time, I also have to cut these guys
Yeah.
because if I don't,
It don't look good.
I'm gonna get probably fined for it or something like that.
Yeah. Um, and because we had touched on the depth chart, I think 2 or 3 episodes ago, and you guys can go watch that, kind of up over here. Um, but with Mariota and Sam Hartman out, it would be Jeff Driscoll at the 2, Trace McSorley at the 3. I think guys like Michael Wiley and Jeremy McNichols would take as the third running back. I think we could keep all 4 tight ends. I think guys like Stromberg and Brandon Daniels would be practice squatted. Um, I mean, Jamin Davis is second string linebacker outside of Dante Fowler Jr. Um, Forbes is second string behind St. Jude's. Forrest might get cut. Reeves is probably going to be here for another year, which I'm totally fine with. I love Jeremy Reeves. But this is going to be an interesting training going into Sunday night against New England. It's going to get real interesting.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna lose because we're wearing the black uniform.
Yeah, guys, if you haven't noticed, if you guys have seen the pictures online, we were wearing the battle black uniforms against New England. Now, I think if they do this right, we wear the black uniforms, and the Patriots wear their all white, their white uniforms with the blue helmet. I think that would be a nice little color matchup.
Bro,
Could go nice. I'm just saying.
should get rid of the black uniforms. They gotta go.
No. We gotta get rid of the white uniforms.
No, we gotta get rid of the black uniforms. The black uniforms look like some garbage.
How
White
about we get?
uniforms look the best, if I'm being real. The black uniforms you gotta get rid of, and you either gotta replace it with the spear, or you gotta replace it with that yellow R helmet.
I could see that.
I mean, not only that, they said they were gonna honor the old logo in a way this season.
I think I think they'll probably do that with like like the logo on the field or something. I don't think it'll be part of the uniform.
If anything, this is what you do when you have division rival weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be New York, Dallas, Philly. When those 3 teams come into town, you take the W off the damn helmet, and this is what you put.
Da-na-na-na-na. Oh my!
You put that.
I think they'll do probably the cursive R before
That
they,
wouldn't be a bad idea.
because that would be honoring the past while also being like respectable, because you've got to be respectful these days. Woo!
Yay!
Woo! Or they bust out one of the old W's. They could do that. Maybe. But I the last point is kicker. We released Ahmed Ramirez after the Miami game, right?
Yep.
Riley Patterson didn't look great in that game either. But yet today, when you guys see this will be yesterday, he went 6 for 7 today. He missed a 54 but made a 58.
This guy's inconsistent as hell.
When I have seen fans say they miss Joey Sly, they miss Dustin Hopkins, They miss Chris Blewett. You are missing the guy with the last name Blewett. Not Blewett, Blewett. Yet there are how many probably undrafted free agent kickers? How many free agent? Like, I'm just so confused about what free agent kickers there are now.
Yeah.
Free kicker free agent, because like I thought Riley Patterson would have been a great, someone to get. But no.
You know what
Like,
our record is, including preseason, since Ron Rivera said Victory Tuesday?
what?
0-10.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
0-10.
Lord have mercy. Dude, the only two like true free agent kickers is Brandon McManus and Randy Bullock. We better go pillage some D3 school, go sign a soccer player, go raid the UFL or the Indoor Football League, and find us a kicker. Because I do not think Riley Patterson is a commander going into the 2024 season, regular season. I mean,
No.
I don't see it. I don't really want to see it, and I'm afraid it's going to be the case.
We had one kicker, and it was at the beginning of our G3's rookie year.
Uh-huh.
That he sucked. Oh, Billy Cundiff.
That's
and
a
we
name.
released him, I think, after like week 4 or 5.
Mm-hmm.
Because he sucked.
Yeah.
And that's when we brought in Kai Forbath.
Yep. And even still.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not a great time because we should have absolutely won both of those preseason games. We lost because both Forbes and Juice gave up touchdowns, and we cannot kick the football.
Shoulda.
Shoulda.
Woulda.
Yep. I'm tempted to see what Tresway can do as a kicker. See if he can make a 35.
Who knows?
Shit, man. But guys, 100th episode is a confusing one for us. Dyami Brown is going to have a breakout season. Still having cornerback issues. Like, I am just perplexed that this is the episode we celebrate with, but it's celebration nonetheless. We made it to 100. Cannot thank each and every one of you enough. Another 100 to go. On the road to 500 subscribers, on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Hopefully one of us or all of us will be at a game sometime this season, because I want to get to a game this season. It's a weird training camp right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, guys, I just can't thank you guys enough for tuning in and staying on with us. If you saw in the opening clip, we've had a plethora of guests come on: Chiseled, Charlotte, Rio, Tony, Rudy and Z, Josh, and everyone else. Gonna have more guests coming on throughout the season. Gonna have more just fun episodes, whether it's win losses. I pray it's not a tie. We do not need a mid Monday around here. We don't need it. Well, let's get this one in the books. Let's go have an interesting preseason game against the New England Patriots Sunday night, 7:00 p.m. I believe this one's at home.
It is.
This
Sunday night.
Yep.
It's New England.
It's New England, guys. 8:00. Excuse me.
Yep.
8:00. Hey guys, that's gonna wrap things up. Don't forget, like and subscribe here on YouTube. Like, subscribe, hit that post notification bell to know every time that we upload. Instagram and TikTok at Ballin and Burgundy Podcast, and Twitter at BIB Podcast 22, because Twitter hates long usernames. Elon, you must fix this problem. Shout out to Rio and Tony and Corey and Washington on the Daily for supporting us since day one. Congratulations to Theodore, our giveaway winner. If you guys were participating in this over on Instagram, shout out to Theo for winning that. Your jersey will be coming soon. There'll be a little surprise in there for it. But guys, like I said, you can follow us on social media. Hit like and subscribe for more updates. Instagram and Twitter. Let's go into preseason. Let's go to Sunday. Hopefully, win in the Battle Black as I'm rocking this the black hat. And then it's going to be cutting time, and we are going to have words to say when those come out. But guys, don't forget, like I said, like to subscribe, support us, follow us, raise hail, and don't forget to stay ballin'. We'll see y'all out there.